what's going on today, everybody? It's me, Charles. I'm here with a brand new video. So what I was trying to say in the last clip was I've always wanted a truck for like the longest time, but ever since I was younger I've liked Chevys, but in the recent years I'm more of a Ford guy, if I'm being honest, unless it's like the GMC Denali Ultimate Yukon, not Silverado, the Yukon, the 2500s, the Duramaxes, which is the same thing, stuff like that. Then yeah, most definitely I'm gonna want one of those. But I'm more of a Ford guy. If it's a limited platinum, you bet I'm gonna want one of those. I don't know why lately I really like, let me specify before I say this, it has to be a certain trim for me to like it. So lately I've really liked the Silverado, like the newer Silverados, like the High Countries, and then the Dodge Rams, but it has to be a limited, a Longhorn, or something like that for me to really like, and it's got to be spec'd out to specific standards of how I like it. Now Ford, I don't care. I like whatever trim level. Obviously not the base model, because nobody really cares about base models unless it's like a work truck, and that's a little bit different. But I found, I'm on Marketplace all the time. I try and find deals, even if I can't afford them. I just find deals out of nowhere. Well, on my phone there was a suggestion thing on Marketplace, and it showed a High Country Silverado. I was like, okay, I'm gonna click on it. So I clicked on it. It's a 2022. It's got 31,000 miles, and they want $39 for it, which is not a bad price, if I'm being 100% honest, because I've seen those for like retail for 45 grand used or so. But yeah, I'm currently on the way to go take a look at it, see what my first impressions are gonna be of it. If I'm being honest, I've never really I've detailed, because I got a detailing business, I have detailed a newer Silverado and a newer AT4. I like them, but I've never actually gotten the chance to, go drive one and see what it's like. Obviously, coming from a car, it's gonna be a lot different, but, more. If I was to have the choice, honestly, like I genuinely would have to go look at a limited Ram, but it has to be like too specified exactly how I want it, which is, honestly, I would like all black limited, or it's got to be an all black limited with like tan interior, like this car. I can't have a basic black interior, which the Silverado has a black interior, but it's got some accents, so it doesn't make it as boring, I guess you could say, versus like an F-150. I don't really necessarily care. And my thing is, if I'm going to go look at a truck and I'm going to spend that much amount of money, my thing is, why would I want to buy a basic interior, like basic black interior, when this tan looks really good, a lot better than like a regular black interior? So the Ultimates have really, like the GMC Ultimate, the Denalis, they have beautiful interior, I'm not even gonna lie. And then the F-150 Limiteds, whew. So we'll see what this High Country has to offer. I'm just throwing this out right now. For me to buy a Chevy or, like I said earlier, a Dodge Ram, it better impress me a lot. Speaking of Ford, there was one right there. Dang, that Chevy was on its tail. But see, something like what just passed me is what I would love. Is better have a 5.0 2018 higher. 2015 was nice too, but 2018 higher 5.0 King Ranch Limited Platinum, anything like that, why not? But I don't know, I'm kind of just rambling here, throwing out my opinions. But if I'm being honest, and the thing about Dodge is, like, for example, we have a Dodge, and And it's, you know, it's a hit and miss with them. It's either they're good or they're bad. Same with the GMC and the newer Silverados and Tahoes. I'm not stopping. Come on, not really. They're you know, a lot of people, y'all know, like the recalls that GM has been having. That's another thing that has made me very hesitant towards getting one of those, if you know, if I really wanted to. Versus the 5.0, I know for a fact that it's either in a Mustang or an F-150. They're highly reliable. Obviously, if you take care of them, just like any other vehicle. Y'all saw how the car swayed like that? I'm telling y'all, it has always done that. I have replaced everything on it. I do not know what it is. It's probably because it's lowered. So I'm at the point where I'm literally about to buy coils, not shocks, but coils, and see if that it stops doing that swing. Because every time like right now, this road's smooth, but when the road's uneven or I go through certain bridges, the car will go like that. I'm like, yo. I mean, I'm used to it. It don't bother me. Kind of, sort of doesn't bother me, but still, it's like, why? What's the point in doing that? You know, when I've replaced everything, my alignment's correct. I mean, I genuinely do not know why it does that. And some people are, oh yeah, it's normal for it to do that. I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's normal. Now, the Demon, it'll do that. It won't do it like as bad as this car, but it'll do it. You're driving down the road, a Dodge Demon Challenger, and you'll see it go like side to side like that. Like you're in it and you feel it go like that. But that's because it's got a wider stance in the back. Way wider stance in the back. Watch this guy. Look at this guy. But yeah. I don't know, we're about 35 minutes away from where the Silverado is. It's at a legit dealership, so we're gonna take a look at it. I don't think I'm gonna vlog there. I might get a picture too, just so y'all know what I'm wanting to go look at. But I don't know. We'll see if it impresses me. I mean, you know, there's a difference between looking at a vehicle in pictures versus going to look at one in person. But like I said earlier, I'm sure I've repeated myself multiple times. It has to really convince me for me to not buy a Ford. It has to really convince me. Because see, here's the thing. It's like part of me is like, you know, sometime this year, obviously, I really, really, really want a V8. I love this car. It's a great car. It's had its ups and downs, you know. I've had to get the transmission replaced. A deer decided to hit me, and just a couple of other little things, you know, that the previous owner never maintained. But this car's all paid off, so I see no point in really me necessarily selling it, because I could use this as a daily, or the other car as a daily if I'm trying to build this, vice versa, depending how many miles I get on the other one. Like if it has low mileage, I'm not going to daily drive it, but I do plan on keeping this car for a very long time. I don't know. Like I said, this year I really want something with a V8. Now obviously not just some regular vehicle. I want either a Mustang GT. I've always loved, like I said earlier, I've been a Chevy guy. I've always liked the Camaros, but there's something about a newer 5.0 with the 10-speed transmission that's just like, I can't, you know, I can't just turn it down. Which I did go look at one about a month ago. It was really nice. It was a 2018. It was a 6-speed automatic, but it had a 6-speed or whatever, 6 or 8 speed. I can't remember right now off the top of my head, but man, when they cranked it up, whew, it sounded beautiful. I also went to look at a 22 one that had 4,000 miles, 5,000 miles. That one was like, it was a really, really good deal on it, to be honest. I don't know, I feel like if I had the money back then, I most definitely would have bought it, which is actually the same price as the Silverado. They wanted 40 for it, 39, 40, whatever. Which it's a little bit high for a Mustang, so I probably would have tried to negotiate a little bit down, but it was also like specific. It would be like the Mustang that I wanted. Literally, it was lowered, had custom rims, different exhaust system on it. Like a mean sounding exhaust system, not just straight pipe for no reason. And then what else? It had a front splitter, custom spoiler on it. I mean, you name it. It was the perfect Mustang. Camaros are I've always liked them a lot, like I said earlier. But you know, it's different when you go look at a vehicle in person versus just seeing it. That's why I'm keeping my options open. Like I said, if I had to choose between a Ford F-150, the High Country, GMC Denali Ultimate, Camaro SS, and a newer Mustang GT, that's honestly a very difficult decision to make when time comes. Like I said, I've seen 2-3 Mustangs. I've been in a few, so you know I like them a lot. I've driven a Scat Pack before, a Charger and Challenger. Wasn't really too impressed. Like, they're nice vehicles, don't get me wrong, but I know you're just paying for the motor, but sheesh, I don't know. It's just something about them that they're nice vehicles, but I also look at this in a smart way. If I'm going to be spending that amount of money, number one, I ain't going daily. Number two, I want some nice features, not just feel like it's a basic interior. Speaking of Dodge. But I don't know. This is one of those things. At some point down the road, you know, not right now, once I have a house, a family, and all this stuff established, life established, I would love to have a new C8. If I could have a C8, or a Corvette in general. I mean, I could always go buy a Corvette if I wanted to, you know, it don't matter what year, but a newer C8 would be nice. Y'all, I cannot make this up. Look, check out the Mustang that's behind me. There's no way. You know how, I don't know if this has ever happened to y'all, but y'all ever like talk about a car, or you're like, yeah, I want this car, da 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 da, and then you start noticing it out all the vehicles. You start seeing it like, oh hey, there's a Mustang there, there's one behind me, I just passed another one. Or like, you know, a Toyota Highlander. Like, that's crazy. That's a V6 Mustang right there. I mean, Camaro. But that's crazy though, like I was talking about it and it just showed up out of nowhere. And that one looks good if it had a cow hood. Enough rambling. I'll catch up with y'all whenever I get there. I'll probably end up taking some pictures. I might not vlog. I might if, you know, the salesmen aren't around. This dude needs to fix his front plate. But yeah, I'll catch y'all whenever I get there. Hey, that thing is clean, I ain't gonna lie. It's moving, that's for sure. I'm on 75, he's going about 80 or so. One thing I can't stand is these random lights, and then when semis do this and block the road. I mean, I don't care if they're in this lane, but if they're in the left lane blocking the road, and then everybody takes off like really, really slow. But this is a little, he's got that peeve of mine. I'm sure other people have it too. I swear, I hope it don't storm on me, because it looks there. We're over a really dark cloud, but we're here now. It's a little weird location, but we're here to see where she's at. Oh, I thought that one up there. I was like, come on, really? There it is, right there. Looks nice. Oh, okay, yeah, of course, they gotta have a rampart next to it. That looks nice, though, for sure. Can't really tell, but there's the interior. Oh, it's on tongue cover, too. It's really clean, actually. See if I can get the keys in. maybe test drive it. I don't know though. We'll see. So they gave me the keys to it, which is pretty cool. There's the interior, hot country. It's really nice, actually. It sounds pretty good. Oh, the sunroof. I don't know. I like it though. It's on like a really busy interstate, but that's kind of like the interior view right there. Yeah. Speakers sound pretty good. It's Bose audio system. I'm trying to get to know this truck because like I've never been in a Silverado before, so everything's like really high tech new to me right now. So that's what I'm doing. So meanwhile, this traffic comes, drives by. I just got done looking at it. I like it a lot. It's a very, very nice truck. Sounds good. It's got a lot of potential. Do I see myself driving it? Specifically the way it is right now, sitting? Yes. But at the end of the day, you know, it is there she goes. But it is kind of a tough choice to make, you know, between the vehicles I said earlier. I like it. It was just weird, like going from a car to a truck that has so much more technology than this car. I mean, I should be used to the RT on that we have. But it's a completely different like feel. It feels nicer. I don't know how to say it. Like, I'm not ungrateful for this car, but it feels more upscale, if that makes sense. Payments monthly would not be too bad, you know, with a certain amount that I thought about putting down. And yeah, it's definitely going to storm. But so I get there and I look at the truck, you know, I'm showing interest in it. And I don't really see anybody walk out. Now keep in mind, you have to, it's easier to drive there than to walk there. So precisely at the moment, I guess it was the owner, so it was his wife and him. I guess he went to go do something. But I was like, I don't see anybody coming out. You know, I was there for like 2-3 minutes looking at the truck. I wasn't just, you know, BSing. So I go up there, you know, I pull up, walk in the office, and then his wife, you know, was like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, hey, I'm interested in this Silverado. Okay. She hands me the key, and I'm like, is that fine if I go in my car? I said, is that fine if I go in my, instead of walking, I go in my car and up there? She's like, yeah, that's fine. So I guess they trusted me enough to do that. So I was like, woo. So I got to crank it up. I would have got that on video, but I felt like she was watching me, so I didn't want to like, you know, I just didn't want to get that on video. So if I crank it up, it sounded good. It doesn't have the typical GM squeal, like the belt squeals whenever you crank it up. So that's always a plus. I asked him about the accident damage because it's a rebuild title. But I took a good look at it, and I mean, it's literally a brand new truck, and he told me about the accident. It wasn't really a crazy accident, no. And I looked underneath, nothing was bent, anything like that. Literally the fender got hit on the driver, no, the passenger, I'm sorry, fender well, like, he got hit. And I guess insurance, something happened with the insurance. He told me, but you know, I'd be forgetting stuff. But the something with the insurance, they just didn't want to deal with this, so they just sold the truck. Literally, I was like, oh, okay, interesting. But it's got 31,000 miles. It feels like a new truck. I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with the interior, literally. You know, the engine didn't shake. I mean, I was impressed. Or I am impressed. Like, I liked it a lot. Now, obviously, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, let me go and just buy it like that. Like, no. But it would definitely be a truck that I would like. Now, the whole rebuilt title situation, you know, obviously I'd have to do my own research on that and just kind of hope for the best, as they say. But I genuinely liked it, though. Now I just gotta find, there's actually a Dodge Ram, Dodge Ram Limited, I believe it is. But it's about like an hour and a half from here. It's in Florida. I don't know. I could check it out, or maybe if I look more online and see if there's any around this area. that I could also go look at. Would be nice too. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I was talking about earlier. I went to go look at the Silverado. So Chevy GM are kind of like the same thing. And now I'm seeing all these GMCs. There's one up there, one right here. Like, what? How does that even happen? That's why I have my camera facing this way, because it's better than looking at my face anyways. But I'm about to go grab something to eat real quick. I'm probably gonna get me a sandwich or something. Not like a basic sandwich, called Charlie's sandwiches. Go back home. I gotta go to this car meeting later this afternoon, like in 2 hours. So I'm trying to like waste time. So I'm gonna go to this car meeting, and then once I go to the car meeting, I'm probably gonna hit the gym up a little bit. I might vlog, might not. So I'll catch up with y'all once I get to the restaurant. Not even 5 minutes into the drive, and it starts raining. I got there literally right on time, but that's where I'm going to that place, Charlie's Cheesesteak or whatever you want to call it. But that's crazy though. I couldn't have timed that any better. I'm just ready for the rain to go away because I want to keep my car clean. And also my business too, you know. It's a nice place, but it's weird to walk in, though. It's open concept. It's kind of weird, but not bad. But this is the inside of it. It's weird because you walk in and there's like no tables whatsoever. But then there's tables like all along back here and stuff. It kind of smells in here like Burger King, but it's like a brand new smell type of thing. You know, you live in the country when you see one of those things in the middle of traffic. I'll tell you another thing is they're a little bit understaffed because you see those two vehicles there, and then like I walked up and there was like there was a long line behind me. It's like 4 or 5 people, and there's only 2 people that work here. And I'm not racist in any way, shape, or form, but you know, there's 2 Chinese people that are working here, and the cashier did not understand necessarily what people were saying, so the other guy, like the cook, had to, you know, translate stuff. But I respect the hustle though, for sure. But you know, that's just little things like that that make a restaurant kind of go. So my thing is like, why not hire an extra person or something to make things a little bit better? That's just something I had to throw out there though. Which, now that I'm a sandwich place, I might get copyright because the music's like really loud, but have y'all ever been to like Publix before? They got some really, really good sandwiches. I usually get the chicken bacon ranch, top notch right there. But, dude had to step out there for like 4 or 5 different times and finally got the order right, but yeah. I swear I have to get used to vlogging in public because people look at you like, what are you doing? But it's just funny to me at this point. Y'all better get my first reaction ready. Well, if I can open it. Oh yeah, that was good. I'm gonna tell you how it tastes. So whenever I taste it, usually they're like a 9 out of 10. So, see, normal people, that looks like a normal spoon, but that's an undercover for sure, brother. But yeah, that's an undercover. It's like pretty good sandwich. All right, so now I just got done eating. Probably about to head back to the house. Not to the house, head back to where I live. About a 40-minute drive, and then go to the meeting. So yeah, after the meeting, which is gonna be like an hour and a half, go to the gym and go back home. So just got out of the gym. Also got back from the meet. And apparently, the dude does not realize that his lights are on and he about passed the thing. I don't know why people don't realize stuff like that. But overall, it's been a pretty good day. Probably about to get to the house and then make me some food, relax, and call it a day. But as always, I appreciate y'all watching. If y'all have any requests or anything like that, let me know. I think within the next 2-3 weeks, I want to say 3 weeks, my goal is to put the downpipe. Well, here's the issue. I would love to put the downpipe in the tune in the next 2 weeks, but the problem is if I'm going to be replacing my shocks to coilovers, then I'm most definitely gonna have to wait for the exhaust. And the reason is, you know, my car just has to be complicated. So basically they have to, obviously, to replace springs and put in the coil, they have to drop the axle down, front and rear, but I'm talking about the rear right now. They have to drop it down a little bit unless they compress the spring, but it's a lot easier to drop it down. So basically I can't get the exhaust done if they're gonna do that, because it would be in the way. So therefore I'm gonna probably do order my coilovers next week, since I get paid next week, and on top of that I should have a little bit more, well, I should have more money saved up. You know, I'm not broke, I just don't want to, you know, spend the money right now when I can just save it up a little bit. And you know what I'm saying. But you know, that's just how I am. My thing is, if I'm going to do something in my car, unless it's like something cheap interior wise or whatever the case may be, I'm not going to, you know, drop a bag until I get paid. You know, even if I have the money to do it, I'm going to save, I'm going to wait and do it. Unless it's some kind of emergency cause, then it's different. It's a different story. I don't know. I like to be smart with my money. That's why I haven't bought a truck either. That's why I've just been debating. And it gives me some content to make too. So, to post, I should say. But yeah, so I'm probably going to order the coilovers next week. So, about 2 to 3 weeks. I'm gonna have, I know what y'all are gonna say, oh, you have somebody working on your own car. Listen, when it comes to stuff like that, with suspension, downpipe, and the tune, I'd rather have a shop that actually knows what they're doing than me try and guesstimate and spend a whole week or X amount of days, you know, trying to figure out something that can be a 3-hour job. I mean, obviously that's not gonna be a 3-hour job, but y'all know those memes where it's like the job goes from like a 30-minute job to a 3-hour job with your friend. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that, because that happened with these springs. These springs were supposed to be easy, turned to like a 2-day thing. But yeah, that's my plan as of now. I'm just gonna go ahead and order the coilovers, a good brand of coilovers, not some cheap stuff. And then once I order the coilovers, I'm gonna schedule an appointment with the shop and get it all done at the same time. Now for the exhaust, I'm probably gonna have to go back to where I was earlier today. Not the shop, but you know, the location I was, about 45 minutes away from here. So that way they can like do my exhaust, because he talked about it and he said he's gonna have to run it underneath the axle. Is the reason why I'm having to do all this nonsense. And it's true, I've seen it on another Volkswagen CC just like mine. There's not really for the quad exhaust, let me correct myself, there's not really any other way. So another thing I'm thinking about is, if I get when I get coilovers, I should say, my thing is, I'm not gonna drop the car too low, because then I'm gonna be, you know, scratching my exhaust and one thing up to another. So I'm probably gonna leave it the way it sits now, maybe just a tiny bit lower, just because, and just go from there. Now, one of the so-called quote-unquote issues on my side, buy ramps or whatever, is the shops around here, they don't really do lowered cars. Luckily, it's not gonna have a splitter, but it's gonna be a little bit lower. So, and I don't want my car to be messed up, so I don't know, we'll see. I know it's gonna sound loud though, that's for sure. It's not gonna sound like crap, you know, like other people, like Hondas. And I know that for a fact, obviously. I mean, right now, straight pipe, and y'all can tell, just normal driving, it sounds fine. Like, it's not riced out or anything. Matter of fact, I'll show y'all what it sounds like real quick. I'm gonna roll the window down, stop it completely, and give it a little bit of throttle.
Hey,
1 forgot now that I heard my air intake go off. Also gonna do the blow off valve or diverter spacer valve. If could speak would be nice. The diverter spacer valve. I'm also gonna do that. So it's like 4 or 5 things. Once I do that, my car will be completely done. The only thing I'm gonna have to worry about is fixing the sunroof. Not that it leaks or anything, but the inside sunshade screen won't close. And then I'm gonna have to order my splitter and the side skirts, and she will be completely done. And I'm not gonna touch the car at all anymore. And then I'm gonna save up for a little daily, and then a truck, and just go from there. Obviously that daily I'm not gonna keep. I'll sell it for another daily if I find something good, or vice versa. But I'm gonna try and make maybe a YouTube series about working my way up towards a very nice vehicle. So those are my goals. Right now I'm in the point in life where I'm just trying to focus on other things as well. So you know, I'm working, I got my business, graduated. I'm in that kind of stage, trying to get an internship, trying to figure out where I want to be in life. Obviously, you know, I do want to stay around here for certain reasons. Family, and I've just grown up around here and stuff now, church-wise and stuff. But I also want to venture out, like, you know, Tampa would be a good place for me to start. But that's a whole separate video I can make for y'all. Anyways, before I go on and on and on, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. You know, I'll get better at this vlogging thing. The reason why I don't show my face is just because I feel like people would much rather, obviously other than right now it's dark, but people would much rather see the road than my face, which I completely understand. I'm the same way when I'm watching other people's vlogs. I'm like, all right, it's cool seeing your face, but you know, I'd rather see the road. On top of that, y'all saw the random stuff that just happened to happen, so there's that. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I'll catch y'all on the next one, or in the next few weeks. Peace.